Have you ever looked at some huge company, I mean a real giant, and just wondered, how on earth did that all start? Well, today we're going to break down a blueprint that shows exactly how a single idea, like a tiny seed, can grow into a global force. And it all comes down to 4 fundamental laws.
Right? This is the big question. It's what every entrepreneur is trying to figure out. How do you go from that spark of an idea, that aha moment, to becoming a household name like Apple or McDonald's? You might think it's just luck or magic, but what if I told you there's a predictable path? Turns out, there is. And it all starts with seeing your idea for what it truly is. And here's the key idea. It's simple, but it's so powerful. Your idea is a seed. That's it. It holds all the potential in the world to become something massive, but right now, on its own, it's just potential. It needs the right conditions to grow, and these 4 laws we're about to cover, well, they're the soil, the water, and the sunlight for that seed.
Okay, so first things first. The journey doesn't start with just dreaming about the giant tree. It starts with making something actually grow. This brings us to law number 1, be fruitful. Your first mission, before anything else, is to produce something valuable, something real.
Now, what's so interesting here is that the law focuses on the fruit, the product, not the idea. And why is that? Because the potential, that seed, is already assumed to be inside you. The first real step, the first real bit of work, is to get that idea out of your head and into the world as something that somebody would actually want or need.
So, where do these valuable products even come from? Almost always, they're born from solving a problem. This is a total mindset shift, right? Where most people see an issue or an annoyance, an entrepreneur sees an opportunity. It's about looking at problems and seeing them as puzzles, just waiting for your solution. And just look at this example. It's a perfect illustration. The seed was this crazy idea of shrinking a computer that took up an entire room down to something that could fit on your desk. The fruit was the actual tangible result, the personal computer. That is Law 1 in action. You've taken pure potential and made it real.
Okay, so you did it. You created one amazing piece of fruit. And that is a huge achievement, seriously. But let's be real, one product doesn't make an empire. Now you've got a whole new problem on your hands. How do you make 1,000 of them? Or 1,000,000? And that brings us to law number 2, multiply.
So the crucial point here is that multiplication isn't just about making more stuff. It's about making more of the exact same thing, with the exact same quality every single time. This requires a system. This is where you stop being an artisan, making one-offs, and start becoming a manufacturer.
But hold on, before you can just start cranking things out, you have to have something that's actually worth multiplying, something that stands out. I mean, anybody can make a burger, right? So you have to ask yourself this critical question: what makes your product special? What's your Whopper?
Burger King is the perfect case study for this. First, they didn't just sell burgers. They refined their fruit and created the Whopper. That was their unique thing. Then, they built a meticulous system, the grills, the process, everything, to make sure a Whopper in Tokyo tastes exactly like one in Texas. And the result? That flawless consistency is what let them multiply their success all over the world.
All right, so you're making thousands of perfect, unique products. The factory is humming along, but what good are they if they're all just sitting in your warehouse? This introduces the next massive challenge, a huge logistical hurdle. This is law number 3, replenish.
Replenish is all about logistics. It's about creating the channels, the pathways, the entire system that moves your perfectly multiplied product from your factory floor to the people who actually want to buy it. This is the part nobody sees, but it is the absolute backbone of any massive company.
I love this analogy because it makes it so clear. You could bake the best cookies in the entire world, but if you can't get them out of your kitchen and to the party, they're basically useless. A great product without a great distribution system is just a missed opportunity. It's a hobby.
And if you want to see a masterclass in these first 3 laws, look no further than Walmart. Their fruit was that first store with amazing prices. They multiplied by creating a system to copy that store model over and over. But their real genius, their secret sauce, was replenishing. They built their own massive fleet of trucks and warehouses to make absolutely sure those shelves were never empty.
So, let's recap. You've made a great product. You're making it consistently, and you're getting it out to everyone. You basically built a giant. What could possibly be left? Well, this. This is the final boss, the most ambitious law of them all. Law number 4, subdue.
To subdue a market,
It sounds intense, right? But it's not about unfair tactics or being a bully. It's about achieving a level of excellence and recognition that is so high that when people think about the problem you solve, they think of you first. You literally become synonymous with the solution.
And here's how you know you've done it. This is the ultimate test. It's what it feels like for your customers. When you need a search engine, you Google it. When you need a tissue, you ask for a Kleenex. That is what market dominance feels like in the real world.
And for a prime example of this, just think about Microsoft. For decades, they controlled the personal computer software market so completely that it was almost impossible to function without them. They became so dominant that the US government itself had to step in because they were worried Microsoft had become too powerful. I mean, wow, that is the absolute peak of market control.
So, there you have it. 4 laws. It's not magic, it's a logical path that can take you from a simple idea all the way to complete market leadership. All right, let's wrap this all up and put it together in one simple blueprint.
First, you be fruitful, turning your idea into a real product, like the first Apple computer. Then you multiply, creating a system for perfect consistency, just like the Burger King Whopper. Next, you replenish, building that distribution network to get it to your customers, like Walmart's incredible trucking system. And finally, you subdue, becoming the first name people think of, just like Microsoft did with software. It's a powerful and repeatable pattern.
Every single great company you see today started as just that, a single seed of an idea. By understanding and applying these 4 laws, that seed that you're holding on to right now, it really does have the power to grow into a forest. So the only question left is, what will yours look like?